Hello race fans and welcome to the Zandvoort circuit for the 2022 Dutch Grand Prix. The Orange Army is out in full force today, hoping to see Max Verstappen, the hometown favorite, take pole position in qualifying today. So let's see what the drivers can do around this historic venue. And here's your practice report for heading into the Dutch Grand Prix. And Kito Watanabe and Yuki Tsunoda pretty decently close together. However, it looks like the Toyota car is just not used to the characteristics of this circuit. Lando Norris tops the session in practice 2, but Tsunoda pips Watanabe at the end of the session, and Toyota, heading to practice 3, saw a problem that needed to be fixed, which relegated both drivers to the garage. So they'll be heading into these conditions with not much data from a morning session. Here's the practice setup. A lot of downforce needed for this weekend, and well, you got to be very careful because there are some fast sections around Zandvoort, but very tight and technical too. And here's some news coming from the weekend. With contract renewal period coming around, Yuki Tsunoda, supposedly there was the contract negotiations looked to be slipping between Toyota and the young Japanese driver, with a $6 million contract refused by the Japanese driver. And while his results may not have warranted the $6.42 million contract he eventually got, well, Toyota gave it to him anyways, hoping that it will give him a little bit of a boost to maybe boost his performances. Toyota still stays fourth in the pecking order, and in other news, Kimi Räikkönen announces his retirement from Formula One, which will open up a seat at Alfa Romeo at the end of the season, which could surely spice up the driver market. And here goes Sebastian Vettel out of the Dutch Grand Prix in qualifying 1. So disappointing. Kito Watanabe around the final corner, head barrels down towards the line, and where's that going to put him? That puts him third overall, just behind the Red Bulls. Second lap, Kito Watanabe gaining a bit of slipstream from Nicholas Latifi, but he was compromised by the dirty air put up by the Williams. Third lap around the circuit, not improving. Watanabe down in 13th. Will that be enough to get him out of Q1? We'll have to wait and see as the times start rolling in. And it does. Kito Watanabe gets through 13th, but Yuki Tsunoda seems to have a bit of pace around the circuit, up in 10th. And with Sebastian Vettel out, George Russell makes it into Q2 in the Williams. Here goes Kito Watanabe around the final corner. DRS wide open, barreling towards the line. And it's only P5. Through the banking, down towards the start-finish straight. A purple first sector for Kito Watanabe. Purple in the third. Crosses the line. He had a qualifying. And it's not enough. It's not enough. Kito Watanabe's down in 12th. And Tsunoda, one of the few times this season, if not the first time, he's out-qualified his teammate. So Watanabe is going to be heavily compromised, but he'll have a better strategy. Hello, race fans. We're here at the Zandvoort circuit, here in the Netherlands. The Orange Army's out in full force. You can hear the Supermax blaring on all the speakers. It's clear who they want to win, and starting from pole position, perhaps they will get what they all came out in force to see. It's going to be a thrilling race around a historic venue. It's time for the Dutch Grand Prix. And here we are, a tight, twisty circuit, a historic circuit. Zandvoort is very tight, very technical, and but at the same time, it's very punishing if the drivers get a mistake wrong. So a small error could decide the fate of a few of our drivers out here on the track. And welcome to the starting grid. Max Verstappen gets pole position, and with this excitement from the crowd, you would have thought he had won on Saturday. But with some engine penalties throughout the grid for some of our top runners, one benefiter is Kito Watanabe, and you'll see it as we head into the starting grid for the Dutch Grand Prix here in the Netherlands, at Zandvoort. Max Verstappen takes pole position in front of his ecstatic hometown crowd of Valtteri Bottas, P2, hoping to gain some good form after a non-points finish out in Belgium last time out. Sergio Perez third, Lewis Hamilton in fourth, Lando Norris fifth, and Charles Leclerc down in P6, with Pierre Gasly and Yuki Tsunoda promoted to P8, Antonio Giovinazzi 9th, and Kito Watanabe up in 10th. Esteban Ocon 11th, Stroll 12th, Russell 13th, and Kimi Räikkönen 14th, Marino Sato 15th, Latifi 16th, Mazepin 17th, Fernando Alonso down the grid of an engine penalty in 18th place, Mick Schumacher 19th, Vettel 20th, having failed to put up a time in qualifying 1, with Carlos Sainz and Daniel Ricciardo taking multiple engine penalties and starting at the back of the grid for this race. Here we go around the Zandvoort circuit, and let's see what our drivers can get up to. 5 lights out, and away we go. And it's a good start from Max Verstappen, a poor start from Valtteri Bottas as Sergio Perez gets by the Mercedes. And here goes Kito Watanabe looking to dive down the inside of Antonio Giovinazzi, who's started on the hard compound tire, and Watanabe makes it through, making room for Esteban Ocon in the Alpine, but there's a gap forming between him and the rest of the field, tailed by his teammate. Tries to take the high line through to turn 3, and he cuts right across Esteban Ocon in the Alpine, and now he's barreling through the twisting, flowing sections of turns 4, 5, and 6, heading down towards the sharp right-hander turn 7, he goes wide, and Esteban Ocon squeezes through, having probably not been happy about being cut off, and Keita Watanabe's back where he started. Let's look at this race start from Sergio Perez. Right off the line, you can see it. He just gets a better start. The Red Bulls have looking extremely quick around this circuit, and Valtteri Bottas just off the start looks really sluggish and slow, adding to his woes from how this second half of the season has started. As you can see here, from his start, his initial start off the blocks is pretty poor, and then he gets bogged down in the second phase. So an unfortunate showing from Bottas, who now will have to try to find a spot to overtake from around this track, which is very difficult to accomplish this. And Esteban Ocon, just gets cut off by Keita Watanabe.
What the was that, honestly? Oh.
I don't know, mate. Just keep your head in the...
And he keeps his head right in the game as he goes down the inside of turn 7 with Watanabe understeering and the Toyota car just not suiting the characteristics of the circuit. And here goes Valtteri Bottas. Oh, and there's smoke pouring out of the back of that Mercedes. And Valtteri Bottas is now out of the session. And that is just adding more to the terrible woes of this weekend. Here goes Lewis Hamilton, his teammate. As you can see, just a smoke screen enshrouding him from his teammate up front, which doesn't impede his progress because he doesn't know where his teammate is. He doesn't know when he's going to pull over to the side of the road. And Bottas, well, his championship charge, looking good heading to summer break, but now on a bit of a stall.
Sorry guys, that's it.
And he's not very happy about this either. His championship hopes for a second time round. And here goes Keita Watanabe barreling down towards the line. Here on lap 11, heading on to lap 12, and some of the soft tire runners are pitting now, and with Watanabe having started the medium tires, he's surely going to gain some positions with his tires slowly phasing in. Heading behind it, now his teammate heads into the pits. Now he's trying to see if he can maybe get the move on Ocon with DRS and ERS deployed, heading down into the Tarzan corner, down the inside, but Ocon is just that little bit ahead, closes the door, and now Watanabe will have to wait another lap. And here goes Watanabe around the banking, and Ocon pits. So now Watanabe has some clean air where he can hopefully set these medium tires to their paces while everyone else is boxing for hard compound tires. And Watanabe will surely even have the pace advantage even when the mediums start to decay and the hards start to rubber into the circuit. Lando Norris is closing in. Are we going to get a round 2 from what happened in Belgium last time out? As Watanabe compromised through this turn 3 into turns 4, 5, 6, and Lando Norris just has that overall pace advantage and the better grip on those now rubbered in hard compound tires around the outside of turn 7, and that is an audacious, beautiful move from the McLaren driver. And here goes Watanabe into the pits on an almighty stint, 26 laps on the medium compound tire. And what will we do? Surely he's going to put on some soft tires for the end of the race, and he is, and he's going to have some amazing speed towards the latter stages of this Grand Prix, with the circuit having been rubbered in by the constant running. And now he gets passed by his teammate, but he's down in P8. But with those soft compound tires, he surely is going to have the overwhelming pace advantage over everyone else in the field on the hards. Here goes Watanabe around the banking, closing in on his teammate Yuki Tsunoda. Surely Toyota will know that Watanabe will have the pace over the younger Japanese driver. So what's he going to do? Down the outside, but Tsunoda's defending against the Japanese driver. He gets the better traction, and the longer he stays behind his teammate, the sooner his tires are going to start to degrade that much quicker, and he's going to be compromised. So Toyota, surely some team orders will have to come into play if they want to maximize their results. Around the banking we go, so close this time, much closer than he was on his previous attempt. DRS, ERS wide open as he barrels down on his teammate who just signed a new contract, but Watanabe shows who's still the boss at Toyota Racing as he goes around the Japanese driver into P7. Let's look at this replay again because he just pulls out to the inside into the corner and just manages to slow it down that little bit. It looks at first that he's gone too deep into the corner, but he just nails it down, just manages to get that car in control from that moment on, and Tsunoda just has nowhere else to go as Watanabe positions his car beautifully, but he won't be happy about that.
Could you say to hurry up off, because what's the point I just want?
And here, a little further back on the lap, and you can see George Russell off the ground. Oh, he makes contact with Sebastian Vettel. Vettel makes contact with Russell, and surely that must be damage to the Aston Martin. You can see the Williams just jolt. Looks like a mechanical failure, maybe a gearbox failure. No smoke from the car, no punctures we can see, and yeah, just it doesn't look as bad as a tap as we thought from that angle. Let's look at the front wing cam and see exactly what happened here. And yeah, just no damage to the front wing, at least on Russell's side. Let's look at Vettel down here. He made the biggest impact, and yeah, no damage from the Aston Martin, so he'll be thankful for that. But Russell, after a good qualifying session, is not going to be happy with the result.
Yeah, sorry guys. Don't know what happened there.
And here goes Sebastian Vettel heading. Let's see it from his perspective. And yeah, just a little tap. Actually, it doesn't look as bad from that angle.
Which gap was that? I didn't see that.
Clearly didn't know that Russell was DNF. And here goes Watanabe closing in on Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. Those soft tires really starting to give the Toyota the pace advantage over the Ferrari, who's been on those hards for quite a bit. Down the inside into the Tarzan corner. And that is a beautiful move. Was there contact, though? Let's look at this replay. You can see down the inside again, very audacious dive bomb, but just manages to control the car. And yeah, there's no contact at all, but you could put a slice of paper through there. There's hardly any space between the two of them, and that is some ridiculous car control on the part of the Toyota driver. And Charles Leclerc, well, he's probably had to react a little quickly on his side too.
What the hell?
And you can see Nikita Mazepin coming out of the pit lane. Here goes Watanabe. He's very close now to Pierre Gasly, hoping to finish in the top 5. Since Canada, Watanabe's only finished in the top 5. So what can he do? Heading now past with the NERS deployed around the outside into turn 1. He's very far ahead as he heads to the corner. Not as an audacious dive bomb, and much more control for Toyota driver. And so Watanabe will be thankful for that. The Orange Army came out in force. Max Verstappen has come out to deliver. Super Max is back as he crosses the line to win his home Grand Prix. It is double Dutch delight for Super Max, and the crowd will surely love that.
It's a really, really mature drive. What a present to your fans. Race win.
Thank you very much, guys. Amazing strategy. We were really, really sharp today.
It's not only a good day for Max Verstappen, it's a good day for Red Bull with a 1-2 for the team. And Watanabe, he's finished in the top 5 ever since Canada. He's finished every race in the top 5. That is some supreme consistency from the Toyota driver. After some mistakes in the beginning half of the season, well, he looks dialed in. Maybe not for a championship fight, but aiming for best of the rest and hoping to keep his team in P3 in the Constructors' Championship. And that is the supreme way to do it. But Max Verstappen is top of the hill of the Zandvoort circuit, and as you can see from our standings, Sergio Perez P2 and Lewis Hamilton 3rd, with Lando Norris a very respectable P4. However, Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton heading into this race tied on points in the Drivers' Championship. Now Verstappen will have that little bit of an edge. Tsunoda finishes in the points again. So a good job from the Toyota driver after a re-sign of his contract. But now Max Verstappen has an 11-point lead, and Valtteri Bottas down to 39 points down on Max Verstappen. And of course, the Constructors' Championship looks to be pretty stable at the moment, and I can't see much of it changing unless something drastically happens in the next few races. But Red Bull will be cherishing the huge point swing they got in this race as we head to Monza, the Italian Grand Prix, a staple on the Formula 1 calendar. And hopefully, we'll see you at the Temple of Speed. But until then, that's it from us.